Hi everybody, welcome back. I'm the Strategy Professor, and today we're going to be doing another episode in our legendary Mazdamundi campaign.
Get off, kid!
Let's go and get back in here. So last time, I went ahead and did the Confederation. Like I said, we've been working towards that the whole time. So we ended up getting 4 properties down here, obviously in rough shape. That's why they confederated with us. So what I decided to do with it is marks of the old ones down here. We're just going to sell everything, just liquidate it, let it die. We went ahead and took the taxes off of it. It was only giving us 63 a turn. So that might stall it out for a couple of turns, but we already have a rebellion knocking at our doors. They might just kill us next turn before we even get to sell the buildings. So that's toast. This I was going to let go immediately, but I realized it has this landmark building here that we can build for 3,000 gold that gives us plus 10 recruit rank for skink chiefs. And allows you to hire them in all provinces. Really, really good. Remember, skink chiefs require that tier 3 skink building to get, and on their own, they're not like insane heroes. They're okay, but they have so much good utility about them. So they do offer poison, kind of ranged poison attacks, which is pretty good just for debuffing different targets, especially if you could micro them correctly and just auto attack like 2 or 3 different mobs at once. You can spread the poison around to everybody. So that can be pretty handy. You know, they can skirmish a little bit too, so they're not insane. Usually I don't like ranged heroes and ranged lords in general, because it just feels like they just don't put out a lot of damage, even though on paper it seems like they should. I'm not sure if it's because their missile misses a lot of the time or what, but anyways, he's okay. Not amazing in that regard. What he is good at is he has hidden paths here, which gives us an extra 10% campaign movement range, which is very good. As he scales up, he can eventually get on an Ancient Stegodon, which is very, very good. That's a tier 5 unit. So like most heroes, he can get up to that point. And he has damage walls, which is massive. So that gives you 3 extra wall breaches, which is so important for Lizardmen, because you don't have any like great infantry to climb up the walls. All you have are like Temple Guard to climb up on ladders, and even like your units are so big, even just trying to like use a battering ram and then go through that choke point is not going to be that amazing most of the time. So they're just going to stack it up with a bunch of spears and halberds, and you're just not going to have the elite infantry to push through there. It is nice for, you know, we're going to be able to destroy people with spells when they're all clogged up there, but it's not that great. But you know, the damage walls is going to break like 4 different walls, I believe, and so it's going to give us 4 different entry points to just start swarming in with all of our dinosaurs, and that'll help out a lot more. Like, yeah, they're probably still going to have spears and halberds, but that's going to put more pressure on them to position their units correctly, so that's really good. And then, of course, you have the replenishment here. Up to 12% additional replenishment is pretty massive, so yes, I think he's pretty good. I mean, he's not like the best hero in the game, but he's certainly pretty good, especially relative to his price. Usually they're like 154 gold. Very, very cheap, very effective. So that's really nice to have that building. I can hire a couple of extra skink chiefs before it goes down. Now, I do think this will probably fall at some point. Skaven are almost certainly going to be here, pressuring us soon, and then it's doesn't like us right now because we confederated with we're getting this confederation penalty of -25 diplomacy and research rate minus 50% for 10 turns. Okay, so for 5 turns you can't confederate again, but you keep the penalty for 10 turns. So I'd like to play nice with Itza, but we'll see. They might come after us, but hopefully we can get this finished before then and at least get a couple of skinks. Okay, so that place is probably going to fall. There's a chance we might be able to save it within 20 turns, maybe. We'll see, but that's going to be tough. Now, this place is a place that I would actually like to try to save. It's a 4-province town. We just have to take out Vampire Coast here, which is an unwalled city. And this place over here, which is kind of a question mark, Skaven stronghold, so we'll see. But I think this is a nice foothold. It is kind of in the middle of everything, which sort of sucks, but it's still a 4-province town. It has some pretty nice stuff in it. This monument building seems pretty trash. I mean, it's okay for defending stuff, but 8,000 gold for something that just is basically for extra defense doesn't seem that amazing. I guess it would make it almost impossible to siege them the siegers would get minus 20 leadership, and you get extra melee defense. So I guess there's that. But it's already a tier 3 town. A lot of these places have a resource like that has wood, iron, medicinal herbs, and that's a port. So all of them provide some pretty good stuff. So I think I've decided I want to try to hold on to that, because we can just hire up a bunch of skinks here. We do have the legendary lord guy that we can bring back in to Hanawan within 5 turns, and of course he specializes in skinks, so that works out really well. And we'll try out the pterodactyls again. Every time I think these are going to be good, they disappoint me. But like the fire leech bolas are good against like big masses of infantry if they don't have very good missile infantry to take them down. So we'll try those out. And that basically describes Skaven. And, well, Vampire Coast does have some pretty good missile infantry. But anyways, we're going to try it out. We are getting rid of the Saurus building here, which, once again, I just don't like the cost on Saurus. I think the Skink building is way better. We need to get rid of something here so that we can get the medicinal herbs. These herbs, as we level this up, also give us recruitment rank for priests and skink priests and chiefs in all provinces. So that's really handy. Upkeep reduction, and you get +2 rank for skinks. So really, really good combination with a skink-centric town. And then over here, this thing's just pretty much garbage. This marker or whatever, this thing gives us some campaign movement range, which is good, and research rate, which is okay. But we really need to put down probably like some public order or, you know, walls or something like that here instead. It does provide a very good technology, but I think as long as the technology is started, then we get to finish the technology even if we get rid of the tech. So the 15 growth is very nice. And then this right here, eventually, the -1 construction time would be pretty good. So anyways, that's our game plan. We thinned out this army. We just kept the skink. We're going to load him up with skinks. And then we'll put Tehanawan with him here in a few turns. Okay. Up here is a bit more tenuous. We decided to move out to here, try to replenish for a turn, and then we're going to hire our Blessed Spawn and our Regiment of Renown, and then try to go down and Lightning Strike these guys down. This is what I was talking about earlier. The Lightning Strike, very, very powerful. So not only did we get cost reduction on all of this stuff so that we can actually afford it, but now we have Lightning Strike, which is going to be great against Greenskins and Skaven, who usually field multiple armies. So. Okay. And I'm working on leveling this up. We'll see. We can cancel it if we need to. If you cancel something while it's building, it doesn't cost you anything. So a lot of times, if I'm not sure, I'll just start the building, and then if we need to cancel it later, we can. The one caveat is if they're sieging it, then you can't cancel it. And I believe it does charge you for the building when they sack it. So I think we looked at everybody else. They're not too pleased with us because of the Great Power and Confederation penalty.
Your best. You may approach and make your
last turn.
There is only vengeance. Yours is a short
these guys do not care that we confederated,
so why do you
though,
seek me out?
But
yes, I am techless. High Lord.
okay. All right, I think that's going to be good. So this is going to be a little spooky here, but it's what we got. Okay, let's make sure that we have all these items ready to go also. Okay, we can put physical resistance on him for the Luckstone. Cause terror on him, I guess. Nothing extra to place there. Fan waiver. Okay. I suppose that is all we get here. Alright, we go to next turn. So yeah, I spent probably 20 or 30 minutes sitting there trying to figure out like how to optimize that lower Confederation area. So we'll see. It's not going to be easy, especially if a lot of people start going hostile with us. It's probably a war declaration. Yep. Smell blood in the water down there. I mean, even if we lose all of that, I still think it's worth it because we get to Hanawan. Okay, they're running. Nice. Oh, they're attacking Poxmarch. Okay. Oh my god. Okay. Jesus. 3 armies. 5 total armies right there. It's gonna get spicy.
Your conquests strike fear into the hearts of your enemies, mighty lord. The wisest amongst them will know that fate is on your side. I have foreseen it.
Whatever, dude. You're a traitor. I forgot where we saw him. Was that in the Chaos campaign? I think it was, where he was trying to act like he was on our side, and then he ends up like he's been siding with, not Osric. Can't remember his name. The big bird, Lord of Change. I think, is it Zinch? I think it's the Zinch god. Greater demon. And just rolls up and eats him. Gets what he deserves. Alright.
Let me think about
Good lord.
No!
Okay, so I think what we're gonna have to do, if we kill the main army, I believe the wall will disband. Okay, so I think we can lightning strike this army. It will push, it'll get rid of the siege, it'll push everyone off of us, and then we can sit in the town, get some replenishment. They're probably going to siege us again. But they should not be able to force a fight on the same turn.
Not Scryer's will! Plan skill is discordant.
So much going on up here. We've got to kill, what, 6 armies here? Oh, definitely calling in everything we got. So I think we lightning strike this army.
I'd rather eat a squeak!
If we get into Port Reaver, that has 13 extra units that could help us. This guy's in range. So we can lightning strike this army. Depending on where this army runs after that, assuming we win the first battle, then we could potentially normally attack this guy and get reinforcements from Port Reaver. Or if we win really decisively, we could lightning strike him. But it's going to be kind of hard. I mean, that's just so many units. Like, it's just a lot of beef, you know? You have to chew through, like, 200,000 health. Now, those guys are not nearly as good against cavalry. Okay, let's do it. So, the big question is, do we go for 25 extra winds of magic here? That's quite a bit of extra healing. So, that would be 5 times an extra 5. Like 3,000. So, do I want like 3,000 health on one of these units? Or would I rather have, like, just the I guess with the Stegodon, the Salamanders, all of that, the missile damage is probably better. That could be 2 extra flames as well. But, okay, I think we'll go with this. And then we'll attack him. We barely have any movement left. I think we're just going to have to park it in the town. Ooh. Okay, so yeah, it's pretty much all forest goblins in that army. Like I said, I believe the Wa, it came with the first army that came up here. So, I believe that if I kill them, then the Wa is going to disband. We'll see. Anyways, alright, let's do it. Lightning strike. Gonna be spooky. So, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. They just have, like, a ton of melee. They're just going to walk at us, pretty much. Oh, this is interesting. Usually on this map, like, you have the top. Like, someone has the top of the map and someone has the bottom of the map. So, it's kind of interesting they split it up like this so that both factions have a chance to get the high ground. So, that's a bit more balanced. We're obviously going to stack up here on the high ground. High ground matters quite a lot, aside from like the Star Wars meme. I don't even know if most people probably remember it from, what was it, the sixth total movie, but the third prequel movie, or whatever, that ridiculous thing where they've been flipping around and flying all movie, and then they're just like, I got the high ground, you can't take me now. Like, come on, man. Maybe if it was like real physics, but in Star Wars physics, it did not seem like it should matter. But anyways, we just want to, it does force them to march uphill, which does eat into their vigor. And, okay, what options do we have here? Frostbite to slow speed's pretty good. Unbreakable. I still think perfect vigor is best. So you never get tired. Because these guys can actually go in and mix it up in melee also, especially the Stegodon. Unbreakable is worth considering, though. But anyways, high ground does matter. It forces them to march uphill. Have these to kind of flank a little bit because they're not as durable, but they are going to put out more DPS overall because there's just so many of them. But we want the dinos to tank a lot of that stuff. I need to do like unempowered burning heads also. It does the same amount of damage, I believe. It just doesn't have as big of a hitbox, but if you double cast it has a bigger hitbox, but it costs way more mana to do it that way. tilting the wrong way. Dang it, no. Spook him a little bit here. My little skinks. We're likely going to have to fight these guys again, so we really need to just run them all down. I was playing way too conservatively with my magic there, I think. I thought it was going to be a lot harder than that, honestly. But they don't have amazing, Savage Orcs don't have amazing leadership, so... How many kills that dude get? A pretty good amount. Go, boys, let's go. Put them all down. They are likely to run. We're gonna have to kill them again. How can y'all not run down these Savage Orcs? Let's go. I know the Bastillodons are kind of big. I guess the Carnosaurs are working on it. But... him so far away, I'm never going to get to him in time. Maybe this can hurt him back in there. This up a little bit here. Oh, right there. Get him, get him. Anywhere close. Alright, we got a few of them there. This is obviously going to be... I mean, we won this fight better than I thought we would, honestly. But at the same time, like... We got like 6 other armies we got to kill, so... The Crocs, I think, are going to heal to full. Get as much healing in on these guys as I can. Bastillodons just take a beating. They don't do a ton of damage, but these skinks actually putting in some work, man. And there's so many of them, and they do heavy armor-piercing damage. So maybe those red-crested skinks are a little bit better than I was giving them credit for. I mean, I know with all the like SOTEC buffs, we obviously don't have that system in this campaign with like all the I don't know what you call them. All the bonuses or whatever that you get, the sacrifices from the SOTEC bonuses are not as great, but the skinks aren't going to be as great. But still, like, they're solid for their cost. Very tempted to take the replenishment, but I just can't. It's so much money. And if we're going to build up our other army in the south, we're going into the red for a little bit, so... They're going to run. Another fan waver. Okay, nice. We get some Saurus spears. Oh, I forgot we can actually do this. Oh, attrition when they're in our territory is actually pretty nice. Skink and pterodon units. Yeah, I think we need that. Okay, arcane convergence. Starting to get a bit stronger here, starting to get a bit of a power spike. Once we get these things, that's where we really start coming online. Once we get Zlok and Ruination and Focus of Mysteries, then it's on. And I think we need to get to Apotheosis pretty soon, because the 10-second cooldown on that would be massive. And it only would cost 5. I guess it costs 6 right now, but... Now, the -10 ability recharge I think that's on the unit that you cast it on. So if I cast it on myself as Mazdamundi, like if I run up and I'm the one that face tanks with Zoc, and then I just cast it on myself to heal, I believe it will reduce the cooldown on my other spells by 10 seconds. So then I can just like keep spamming Apotheosis, right? I'm not sure if that's how it works. We'll have to test it out. But it says -10 ability recharge for the seconds. I don't think this goes on cooldown, though, until after you finish the 10 seconds of healing. So I don't think you can go infinite with this and just, like, spam it over and over again and just instantly heal for a ton. But I could cast other stuff quicker. You know, I could cast more harmonic convergences, more burning heads. I could get those down, like, just constantly start throwing those out. So, it's interesting. Okay, but we'll do Arcane Convergence. Once again, these are expensive. We'll probably get rid of them eventually, but right now we just need power. Allies in range, 25% missile resist and missile parry. Now that only works if you have shields, but still. They also have Sunder Armor, which is pretty good. Can we hit him? I think we can hit him. Now, that would be a little spooky because we would be outside of our town if we did that. That means the Skaven could double team us. So, I think we probably just go into the town. They will siege us, but then, like, when we're in the town, that pretty much means that we permanently get to Lightning Strike. If we're outside of the town, then they can still tag team us, because Lightning Strike only works if you're on offense. So if we get in the town, they're likely to attack us and interrupt our ability to hire and stop our replenishment. But we get to Lightning Strike them all down next turn, probably. This army should dissipate, I think.
I'd rather eat a
I can't see what his wall meter is. But when you're the player and you lose a fight, especially that badly, you take a huge hit to your wall meter. And if your wall meter falls below 80, then you lose your wall army. The AI might get to exploit that and not have that happen to them, but they don't have any siege attackers, so they'll have to siege for at least a turn, which means we can lightning strike next turn. So, alright, we're gonna go ahead and pop in here. I'm gonna hire him, because when they're sieging us, we won't get to hire him. So we're gonna have to just eat the costs on that for now. Hire him. We can go ahead and hire some skinks. I don't even, how are we? Oh, because we got the garrison. Okay, so that'll let us hire some skinks. Once again, they're probably gonna stop us from doing this, but maybe just a couple of skink skirmishers would be helpful, just to spread that poison around to everybody. Okay. Ziggurat of Dawn. What do we want over here? Could get some public order. It also increases income from all buildings. That's pretty good. Grand Plaza. We can hire if we get this. It's expensive. We do get extra Winds of Magic faction wide, which if you get enough of those, like, that could definitely be pretty legit. That will allow us, if we hire a skink priest up here, or a skink chief, which we're likely to do, to hire at least one of those up here, to give us one extra rank on them. 5% research, 75 income, so it's going to pay for itself in 20 turns, 23 turns. Could also get the growth. Growth is very good. I don't think I need the lookouts. It's possible some of these people could go hostile with us, but I doubt it. This guy's taken over here, and he's cool with us. We could just throw down money. I mean, you can't really go wrong with cash. I think it's probably public order or money. The minus 10% tax rate is definitely adding up. It's 180 gold a turn just for that. And I think if we were positive public order, we'd go plus 10% and plus research rate. And we'd get extra winds of magic. So this does give 5% extra income from buildings, which would be another 100 gold roughly. So I think maybe let's go with this. Try to see if we can start stabilizing public order here. A lot of that public order problem is from corruption also, which once we kill the Skaven and stop the raiding, that should help. Okay, we'll just go with that. It's cute to try to get the one extra rank for the skink chief, but probably not worth the money. Okay, so we drop the hammer on those clowns. Hopefully we can save. We should be able to save Hexawaddle. They might siege us next turn. They do have catapults. It's gonna be bad. I mean, it's only a tier 2 town, so if they burn it, it's like, it's not the end of the world, but it's certainly not great. Although I think we can put up a pretty good fight there. Next turn, we'll go on a murder spree with lightning striking, though. Okay, meanwhile, down south. I think we just hire a bunch of skinks here. These guys are actually not that bad. I mean, 172. It's probably because we're getting a discount on them, though, aren't we? Let's see. Yeah, on Pterodon Riders. Okay, so I think we just loaded up with skinks right now. Yeah. I think this is where we need to be. This is pretty good against Skaven. It's not insane, but it's alright. This dude's not that great, but I just didn't want to pay money to hire someone else. They, like, put all their skill points in goofy stuff, like these things, so proud. You get a skink guy, red-crested skink chief, and then you put all your points in Osiris stuff. It's like, come on, man. But anyway, so he's not that great, but we're going to replace him with Tehanoin anyways in a minute, so I'm kind of tempted just to delete these, because we're just going to hire 2 more that are higher ranked. So maybe I should have just deleted them last turn, but I guess we'll put them down here. I'll put one of them down there. We'll get rid of this guy. Because remember, we're going to be able to hire in fresh skinks at level 11 once we finish this building down here. But I'll bring this guy down just in case we get attacked like next turn or something, just to be on the safe side. And then iron, herbs. A little greedy up here to go for herbs because we don't have walls.
Unlikely.
And these guys could definitely come for us. Do we just get rid of the pterodactyl? I mean, I kind of want them. I think they're all right, but do I even have room for them? I mean, I might need walls here. If we're going to go for Skaven, which I think is what we want to do, we want to go for Chakwa early. Maybe we just go for walls here and get rid of this. How much do I want? The Pterodon Riders are probably pretty good against Skaven, though. How many turns do they take to hire? Just one? Okay. Maybe I actually go ahead and get these first, just in case someone rolls up there and kills the Pterodon Riders. Or, I tell you what, I could just get 3 of these right now, and the next turn I can get rid of the Pterodon building. So having 3 of these, I think, can help us out, especially in a siege against, like, just huge swarms of Skaven. Maybe we even get more than 3. Maybe we get, like, 5 or something. I just feel like they attack, like, they're just really glitchy on their attacks. It's just something about their animations and, like, how long it takes them to start firing. Maybe they fixed it, but it was real iffy looking. Now, remember, even if you don't have taxes on, like, I don't have taxes on here right now, you still get the full benefit of timber or any other resources because that's not affected by taxes. That's affected by trade rate. So... I mean, we could just try to hold it, I guess, for the... I mean, we're only losing 5 per turn. If we upgrade this, we'd only be losing 4 per turn. Just hold it for the logging and for the shrine. Maybe that's worth... 5,000's a hell of a lot. I can't afford that. Okay, we'll just keep it as is for now. Alright, I think that pretty much covers everyone. Okay, that place is getting demolished. Do we want to upgrade for Skaggy? Yeah. Cow Peaks, do we want that? 50 extra gold, 25% building costs. How are we selling all of our slabs? No. So that means we're not going to get any slab benefit. 25% construction is nice. We're gonna need to build here and here. So if we spend like 10,000 on construction over the course of several turns, maybe that's worth for 1280. That'd save 500 gold on it. We'd get 50 extra per turn over 10 turns, be 1,000. It's close. I mean, I guess we can. Well, they might actually siege it and kill this, so. We'll hold off on that. Okay, I think that's all good. I think I looked at diplomacy this turn.
I'm waiting. The Phoenix Court awaits your plea with interest. Of course.
See if some of these nice elves will sling us a little cash. Because we're going to be strapped for cash
When
very
Loic
soon.
dawns, the shadows come. The day wanes.
We don't quite have enough resources to support
Wisdom await. Make this
2
quick.
armies in a
I have
sustainable
important
way.
matters to attend to.
Okay. Alright, I'll go next. And we'll see if we get one more fight in here. I have been trying to keep the episodes to 45 to an hour, but I know there was a decent chunk of exposition this episode. Alright, Homeboy's taking out all of those guys. Okay, so they're destroyed. He just has to take out the Queen Bee over there. That's nice, and that way I don't have to go north and mess with anything. I can just focus strictly on going south, which is where all of our win cons are. See, there's still quite a few of these sort of minor-ish faction, like Red Fang, you know, over there in the mountains are still there. Orion is still there. It's just getting rid of, like, some of the other ones. Okay, so they're sieging. We got that. So, at least they let us sell our buildings first. Okay, so they all basically ran. They're like, uh-oh. Big Papa's here. Wow, I'm really shocked they let me finish that.
Think about it. No!
Okay, so... should be able to kill them. We have to get these guys off of our town, so we attack them, and then we might be able to hit them, and then we just wrap around this way. Although, these guys might go for Port Reaver again, we'll see. I was right, it did kill the Wa army, So now it's just this
Get
guy.
off, get!
Where'd the other dude go? Huh. Are they in ambush stance? Or did he just dash, like, away? I didn't see.
Zog right off!
So we could come down here and kill Swamp Town. But I don't want to risk losing
you fail
Hexodal.
fate.
Yeah, we should be able to, because don't forget, we have a massive garrison here too, so we should be able to auto-resolve this. Hopefully it doesn't troll us. Almost lost the Bastillid on there, which would have sucked, but I really don't want to fight a 20 on 40 against a bunch of dinky little rats. Like, that army, that might have been interesting 20 on 20, sort of, but we're going to run them over. I think, well, 16% healing is pretty legit. So we are going to fight some more scary stuff here.
Fuck!
Is it worth 1,200 gold, though? 1,200's a lot. I mean, we're already at negative 1,000. And we haven't even hired anything down south. We have like 3 units in our army down, 4 units in our army down south. So you can kind of see how this is becoming a problem. But we don't have our, we have to take it. We don't have our stuff online yet, like our resource buildings online down there. It takes a couple of turns for those, so. Okay, so that's the same army. They ran away.
Gracie, never wrong.
Can we hit them this turn? Oh, no. Sometimes, like, even if you can't all the way get to the army, if you can get there to where, like, the frame of your unit, where, like, the tip of this dude's, like, horn or something, like, touches the enemy, it'll still let you attack them. But you gotta look for that little red part of the line. If it's red, then you can't do it. Okay. These guys are running in different directions.
Bad idea.
They're all taking attrition because they're on my property. Because of that right.
Think decidedly.
Not a lot of attrition, but some.
Malfunction.
Well, what we could do, actually, is hit this guy up. And then just take Fallen Gates. And just trade and just say, hey, if you want to go for Macau Peaks, that's cool, but you're going to have to siege it. And I'm going to take Fallen Gates in the meantime. If someone wants to come up and siege Port Reaver, that's fine. It'll take several turns for y'all to do that. And I should be able to, that'll complete this province, which will help a lot. Let me go ahead and get into channeling stance here. Hopefully they don't kill my Bastillodon. I really don't want to have to manually fight this. It's a low ranking one. I mean, if they kill it, I guess they kill it. I can just bring in something else eventually. I don't want to spend 5 minutes running these guys down. Okay, and with this one we'll go research rate, I think. Do we get to keep it? Okay, yeah, we get to keep it anyways. Nice. Okay, so we should be able to hit up Fallen Gates next. Mazdamundi. Okay, so Focus of Mystery is still a little ways away. So what do we want for just a couple of turns here? Cascading Firecloak is pretty legit. That would only cost 3. And it's 40 melee defense and 40% armor piercing damage for 20 seconds. That's pretty legit. If we put that on, you know, some of our frontliners. Especially like the Crocs or the Carnosaur. doesn't really help us build towards anything. Actually, I guess Rumination is level 15. I don't know how many points. It doesn't say we have to have a certain amount of points to get there. It's just so bad. Like, I mean, Unbreakable's cool, but 30 it just seems odd. Like, Lore of Light is so terrible now. Like, in multiplayer with the net, it was pretty good. This net of Amontok, it's been nerfed so much. It's 22 for the net, which can still be pretty strong. I mean, even at 20 something, it's still pretty good to make it where they can't move for 25 seconds. It used to be like 10 or something, and it used to be like 40 range. It was really OP against a lot of melee stuff. Okay, so our option is we can go Cascading Fire Cloak, which is a pretty good, like, spammable spell. It's great with huge monsters. Or go Harmonic Convergence into something like Apotheosis, which will be fantastic with a 50% cooldown, and it costs a lot less. Like, we can really spam that out. And Curse of Midnight Wind is very, very good against things like Skaven. Stuff that has really low melee attack and defense. I mean, it's basically they're going to get hit by every single one of our attacks, and they're never going to hit us. And it lasts for 50 seconds, and it has a huge hitbox, like 40, so maybe I go for that. Might be the biggest impact spell. It's tough to say. I mean, this is so cheap, though. It just... I guess if I want power right now, we'd go with this. If I'm cool with delayed power, we'd go with this. And that'll eventually let us get to Arcane Conduit, which is pretty good. Exorcism, not that great. I mean, I guess against, like, down south of Vampire, people would be okay. This is very good, though. Like, because we can spam a lot of spells. So Shield of Saphri is very good. Arcane Conduit, or Comet of Cassandora, I don't think is worth. I'd rather just Burning Head most of the time. This I'm not sure about. I've never cast this before. But the negative 50 armor on a Lord, I'm very interested in that. And it does do some damage, too. I don't think the red tree is worth, because we have such a diverse army. This stuff is not... That's good. That's pretty good, but this is okay, not amazing. That's not great. That's like 3 skills that aren't really that great in order to get to 2 that are like okay. Okay, I think we just go Harmonic. -2. What does upgraded Harmonic do? Oh, we get 80 armor. Right. Which is pretty legit. It does that lower, it lowers the cooldown? It does not, yeah, it does lower the cooldown by 50%. Which would be legit. It doesn't show that there, but yeah, we'll just go Harmonic and then work towards probably Midnight or Apotheosis. Although Fire Cloak, like I said, is very tempting. There's definitely an argument for that, for like 3 cost. You know, buff the hell out of some of these big units is pretty nice. Okay. So I think that's all good. Let's see here. We're at 54. Okay, I thought we were going to get a better fight here, but... We're going to wait on Macau Peaks. Actually need to hire something. Okay, this dude... Go ahead and get in there, I think. Actually, we don't want to put him in there, because that's going to increase his upkeep. So let's keep him close, just in case somebody creeps up on us. This is what, 2 more turns? Fire Leech Bolas. How many of these do we want? Because they're going to be like 200 something here in a second. But against Skaven...
No,
is that Clan
blame
Mage? Clan Fester. Against Skaven, I still think they're pretty good. They do not pierce very... So, like, against heavily armored stuff, it's not that great. But the question is, like, how many of these do I want? They do have a lot of ammo, so they are really good in like long fights. I do have the little bomb drop too, which is okay. Or would we rather have like more salamander hunting packs? Like these are going to be very good in sieges, but salamanders are probably better overall. Although they are more expensive. And then we just need a bunch of skinks too. $36, $36, damage is 32, damage is 44. They do way more damage. But they are more expensive, but not by a ton. I think three's probably fine. So let's grab some cheaper stuff then. We'll just get some skink cohort. It's just our front lines. They're just way cheaper than the other ones. Alright, so we'll go with that, and then we can get rid of this, I believe, and put in better defensive buildings. I mean, we could just kill Itzel, maybe. They don't have anything. They have literally nothing. So I would like to confederate with them, but literally don't have an army right now. So maybe we just go knock out Itzel. What level is that town, though? It's pretty. Itzel is tough to siege. And yeah, we'd be walking right into the heart of darkness here. Like, we'd open ourselves up to a ton of Skaven, so I still think that finishing this province first is probably the better course of action. Okay, so we'll do those three. Itzel still doesn't like us.
Astor Princess. Welcome. What would you have there, sir?
Not cool with us.
Give the word.
Three. Kind of like us. Avalorn.
Alariel the Ever. Greetings, Lustrian.
We can't trade with
What
her, though.
brings
We can
you
trade
to the
with
court of
Illyrian. Well,
Protector
not Illyrian,
of
because everybody
Elflorn.
hates them. But we can trade with Safari.
Let's hear it.
They're pretty strong. They're only at war with Avalorn. Avalorn's pretty strong, sort of. But obviously I can't confederate with them. And it's not going to let me trade with them. I'm not sure why. That's a port. How does it let me trade with Safari, but not Avalorn? Safari doesn't have a port here. Their port's like way over here, but somehow I can't trade with this port? Oh, are they getting sieged or something? Maybe they're getting sieged.
There
How's
is
Niagara
only
feel?
vengeance.
I don't really care.
I kneel before Eothilir's tomb.
Defender of truth.
Yeah, they don't care.
Mistress of the Undying Forest.
All right, I guess I can go
Your
ahead
request?
and just try to
You
get some more
address
money
the
out of
Asher
Safari
of
here.
Ulthuan. Of course.
Non-aggression is awkward. I don't think I'm gonna do non-aggression with him. Although you still can't, like, it still kind of counts as non-aggression when you have trade with him. But we'll hold off. Okay. All right, that's gonna be it for this episode. I'm just gonna see what happens in turn here. So I just want more places I can sell my goods to, because we're gonna be at least negative 1,000. Don't forget that that thing is still gonna fall off of us soon, right? The Rite of Primeval Glory, and that's gonna raise the cost on Mazdamundi by probably at least 1,000. Oh, we still need to do that quest battle too. I forgot that that quest battle is available. We could do the quest battle. Right now, since we have a pretty good little army. We'll see what everyone does. If I need to run south, I think I'm going to run north regardless. But I could potentially do the quest battle and then try to siege the Skaven town up here. That's a bit bold. Macau's getting sieged. Skaven are hiding, it seems. I don't care about Forbidden Boys. I don't know where those dudes are, but yeah, I could use some extra magic right now. Get them out of there. Alright, yeah, these dudes are stepping up. Like I thought they might. Still have, what, 3 turns before we get Big Papa back over here. Or Little Papa, I guess, for now. He's kind of small. Papacito, as my Latino kitchen friends used to say back when I worked at a Bonefish Grill. Used to call me Papacito. So, I thought it was pretty funny. Man, I miss those guys. That was a good time back then, and it's just time and a place, you know. Sometimes you just got to move on to different chapters in your life. But I do miss working there. I've liked most places that I've worked most of the time. I've been really lucky that I've worked with some really good people. Some really fun environments, some great management. For the most part, you know. Even McDonald's that I worked at in high school, it was fun. There were a lot of high schoolers, actually, that were working there at the time. Actually, several, like, really, really cute girls that I had no shot in hell with, but it was still nice to just pretend that I did, you know, talking with them. And stuff like that. So, and I actually had a girlfriend at the time, so I wasn't really like hitting on them that hard. But it's always nice to have some good aesthetic, you know, around the working place, and just have some energy in the air. That was pretty fun. And then eventually they all ended up quitting around the time. And then by the time I quit, it was less cool people. There were some people there it was okay, but the management was definitely going downhill. But anyways, it was fun while it lasted. Okay, so next episode, I want to take out Fallen Gates, but I kind of want to also do this quest battle. I think we can afford to do it, even if they take out Macau. I think I just need to get this, because that'll close one of our fronts. In all strategic games, you want to close your fronts, and pretty much any time you're waging war, you don't want to fight multi-front wars. So, if we can take out Fallen Gates, we will get to close this front. Presumably that these guys aren't going to go to war with us anytime soon, and they can hold off the Dark Elves for a while. We can close off the top front here and then focus all of our efforts on pushing south and trying to eventually reunite with Tehinoan. And then we've kind of closed off this right front for the most part too, because we're friends with Tyrannic, and these elves are so busy with each other that they're probably not going to mess with me, hopefully. So we just have to deal with these guys. But also, if we kill the Skavens one town, they start taking attrition because they won't have a town. So they're trying to be cute and just like hide here in the most annoying place possible. Because they have their little underway, so they don't have to worry about movement, speed in the jungle. But anyways, we'll think about doing this this quest battle next time. I don't want to injure myself so much because I don't know what the Skaven have right there. It says they're stronger than I am, which could very well be true. Chaos is really strong, and I just don't know what kind of reinforcements they have. So we might have to actually wait on that. This bar isn't always accurate, but sometimes it is. So you gotta at least pay it a little respect. So maybe we just kill the Skaven Fallen Gates, and then we save that for a little bit later. Once we have Mazdamundi up to level 20, maybe we go for that, but you wouldn't think it would be that hard because you can turn on that quest at like rank 6. But it's not really that great of an item, you know. It's alright. We don't need it, you know, for everything, but it's okay. Anyways, that's going to be it for this episode. Thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy the content. If you do have Amazon Prime and you want to help support for free, you know, go to the Twitch channel. I have a link in the description. Throw that Amazon Prime over here if you want to sling me a couple extra bucks a month for free. If you don't have the Amazon Prime committed to anyone else yet. That's a wonderful program that they've started up in the last couple of years or so. now that I have a Twitch up and running, is on the table. But if you want to sponsor a campaign yourself, don't forget you can email me at thestrategyprofessor@gmail.com. Let me know what you have in mind. We can set that up as well. It's just $30 for 15 episodes. It's $2 an episode, which I think is a pretty good rate. But anyways, that's going to be it. Have a good day, and I'll see you next time.